guys to keep in mind before you attempt any decision making question. Okay, it would be good if you can note this down somewhere. First would be, in a decision making question, the first and foremost thing that you have to do is read the question and understand the question very carefully. Okay, because sometimes what we do is we have an imprinted impression in our mind and we respond, we select the option with regards to that. Okay, but the question is asking for something very different. We will see all these examples in the questions that we will solve today. Just note it down. I will show you examples. Okay, so first and foremost, read and understand the question. Second would be that you will find, you have to categorize options. Okay, the trick here is not to select the option, but to eliminate options. Okay, so if we have 5 given options, we will always try to eliminate options rather than selecting the correct option. Okay, so you always follow the process of elimination. Okay, in decision making, the first thing, read the question very carefully. Second is eliminate options. Okay, the best possible option is your answer. Now, there will be instances in decision making where you will find that none of the options are good enough. I mean, they are outrightly stupid options. That is also there. But that's the trick. You have to choose whatever is the best possible option out there. Okay, so we will use POE, or process of elimination. And the third thing would be, direct effects are always better than indirect effects. I will show you examples here, and we will see how direct effects can be better than indirect effects while eliminating options. Okay, and obviously one another thing would be that we will not select extreme options. Okay, we will not select extreme options until and unless the question asks us to do so. Okay, so I think you guys have noted all these 4 things that I mentioned. These are the 4 basic ground rules. We will be using this in the questions that we follow, right? You guys have noted this? Okay, chalo. So we start with the questions. So this is our question number 1, and this is the case that we have to study before answering the question. So question number 1 to 4 will follow this case. Okay, so let's read this. It says the Disciplinary Committee of National Political Party NPP is meeting today to decide on the future of 2 of their party members. Okay, Mr. Loyal and his son, Mr. Prodigal. Now, Mr. Prodigal is the prime accused of the brutal murder of Mr. Victim, an opposition party leader. Okay, Mr. Prodigal is in police custody and his appeal for bail has got rejected. Okay, so what is the case? There is a political party. There is a father and a son. The son is accused of murdering someone from the opposition party. Okay, now Mr. Prodigal is in police custody and his bail has got rejected. Mr. Loyal claims that his son is innocent and Mr. Victim's death was the result of internal rivalry in the opposition party. Okay, so obviously the father is trying to defend the son. Though Mr. Loyal is not accused in this case, his weakness for his son is well known. Okay, the media is blaming him for influencing key witnesses to protect his son. Severe criticism of his father-son duo, both by the media and some social activists, is damaging the image of the party. Okay, so things that we will be noting while reading the case. First is, what is at stake? The party image is at stake. Okay. However, Mr. Loyal has significant followers within the party and is considered an asset to the party. Okay, so the party cannot just let go of Mr. Loyal because he's an asset to the party. He has a number of followers within the party. Any harsh decision against Mr. Loyal would adversely affect the future of NPP and could even lead to a split in the party. Okay, so if we go against Mr. Loyal, what will happen? The followers of Mr. Loyal will leave the party. There will be a split in the party. This would benefit the opposition. Okay, so we read the case, we jot down what are the important points to remember in this case. So the case is, there is a political party and there is a father-son. The son is accused of committing a crime, which is killing an opposition leader. The father is trying to save the son. Now, because this father is trying to save the son, the party image, if the party retains this person, the party image is getting destroyed. However, what is at stake if the party lets go of Mr. Loyal? Now he is an asset to the party. He has number of followers. And if he leaves, there will be a split in the party. Okay. So these are the things that we have to note. Now we come to the questions. Okay. So as I mentioned, first and foremost, we will read the question and understand the question. Okay. So see, which of the following actions would adversely affect both NPP and Mr. Loyal the most? Okay. So what are we trying to figure out here? Which would be adversely affecting NPP and Mr. Loyal? So here you have to see that whatever option you will be choosing should adversely affect. Okay. It should be in the negative of both NPP and Mr. Loyal. Fine. Fine. So now we choose options that are against Mr. Loyal and against NPP. Okay. Simultaneously, both things should happen. So second thing that I taught you is we use process of elimination. We do not select options, we eliminate options. Okay. So let's start with A. Okay. So what does A say? Take no action against Mr. Loyal. Now you guys tell me, if I select option number A, then what is the adverse effect that is happening on Mr. Loyal? Is anything adverse happening to him? No, right? So nothing adverse is happening to Mr. Loyal. Therefore, option A should not be the correct answer. But without reading the other options, we do not go to any conclusion. We keep it on hold. Okay. So now let's move to the next option. Suspend Mr. Prodigal from the party with immediate effect. Okay. So if we suspend Mr. Prodigal from the party with immediate effect, what happens? What can be the possible adverse things that are happening? So Mr. Loyal, the thing that is happening is his son is getting suspended from the party. Okay. So this is an indirect loss to Mr. Loyal. Okay. I mentioned a rule to you guys that direct effects are always of greater importance than indirect effects. Okay. So here, if Mr. Prodigal, the son, is getting suspended from the party, then it is an indirect adverse effect to Mr. Loyal. Is that clear? And what is the adverse effect on the party? The adverse effect on the party is that the party's relationship with Mr. Loyal will get strained. Again, an indirect adverse effect on the party. Okay, because Mr. Loyal is not leaving the party. His son is leaving the party. So the relationship between the party and Mr. Loyal gets strained. So again, an indirect adverse effect on the party. Now we move to option number C, which says we expel Mr. Loyal from the party with immediate effect. Now see, between B and C, can you see the difference? If we expel Mr. Loyal from the party, then there is a direct adverse effect on Mr. Loyal. Can you see that? And also, there is a direct adverse effect on the party. Because Mr. Loyal leaving would mean that there would be a split in the party. The followers of Mr. Loyal will leave the party. Okay. And being expelled from the party means Mr. Loyal's political career is now in jeopardy. Okay. So there is a direct adverse effect. Is that clear? Direct effects are more important than indirect effects. Okay. So here, when they are asking you, which of the following actions would adversely affect both NPP and Mr. Loyal? Between B and C, if you are stuck, you will choose the option that has a direct effect on Mr. Loyal and NPP, rather than some option that is having an indirect adverse effect on Mr. Loyal and NPP. Am I clear? Now see, option D, ban Mr. Loyal from entering party premises till completion of court proceedings. Now guys, see, there will be at least one or two options in every question which is outrightly irrelevant to that question. Okay. First, identify those options and eliminate them. Okay. Like for this one, ban Mr. Loyal from entering party premises till completion of court proceedings. What will I do with this? Okay. How is it adversely affecting NPP or anybody? It's not right. You're banning him from entering party premises till the court proceedings. So no adverse effect on anybody. Okay. And E is initiate an internal inquiry to find the truth. Again, if I initiate an internal inquiry and find the truth, is it adversely affecting anybody? No, right? What most will happen, people will come to know what is the truth, then what? Okay, so it has nothing to do with the question at hand. Am I clear? So could you understand how am I eliminating options? Important, always eliminate options. So A, take no action against Mr. Loyal, no adverse effect on Mr. Loyal, no adverse effect on party as such, eliminated. Option B, suspend Mr. Prodigal. So indirect adverse effect, we keep it on hold. Option C, expel Mr. Loyal, direct adverse effect. We select this over option B. D is absolutely irrelevant option. E, not relevant to the case. Okay. So what would be our best possible answer? Option number C. Have I been able to explain it? The same logic in all questions. Okay. and see that your thought process will develop like that. You won't get confused. Okay, we move to the next question. Now, see, at the disciplinary committee meeting, members came up with the following suggestions. Which of the following suggestions would harm the party the least? Okay, again, read the question. Which suggestion would harm the party the least? Okay, so we have to select the option that is least harmful to the party. Okay, so A is maintaining status quo. So if the party maintains status quo, is there any harm happening to the party? Let's think about it. If I maintain status quo with these people, then the harm that is happening is that the party's image is getting destroyed, okay, amongst the public. That is a harm that is happening to the party. Any other harm that we can think about? So for the first option, the harm that is coming up is that the party's image is getting destroyed if they maintain a status quo. Next is expel Mr. Prodigal from the party with immediate effect to maintain the party's clean image. Okay, to maintain the party's clean image. Now, if this happens, what will the party lose? What is the harm that is happening to the party? If Mr. Prodigal is expelled, then the relationship with Mr. Loyal is getting strained. So, the followers of Mr. Loyal himself and his followers might not work for the party the way he used to. Okay, because we are already told in the case that he wants to protect his son and he is going lengths to do that. Okay, so obviously between A and B, which one is a more extreme option? Which one is going to cause more harm to the party? Obviously B, right? If Mr. Prodigal is expelled, then Mr. Loyal will not be happy. That is going to cause harm to the party. But maintaining a status quo might be a lighter option than B. Do you see how I am comparing options? These are things that will happen in microseconds when you will practice a lot. Okay, but this is how you keep on eliminating option. You keep placing one option over the other and you arrive at the best possible option. Okay, now see, initiate an internal inquiry to find the truth. Again, an irrelevant option, because we want to know which one would cause the least harm to the party. Here there is nothing, no action is being taken place. They are just initiating an internal inquiry to find the truth. After that, what? Will they keep Mr. Loyal? Will they keep Mr. Prodigal? Nothing is mentioned. Okay, so C is kind of an irrelevant option. We will not, this is at our least priority right now. Okay, let's look at D. In D, we have suspend Mr. Prodigal from the party with immediate effect, but announce that he will be taken back if the court declares him innocent. Do you see? Now, the party, what is the party doing? Party is saying that let's suspend Mr. Prodigal, but we are not permanently suspending him. Let the court proceed, and if the court declares this person innocent, we will take him back. So, on one side, the party is maintaining its image in front of the public because it is suspending Mr. Prodigal. On the other side, it is maintaining its relationship with Mr. Loyal because it has said that if he is proven innocent, he will be taken back. Do you see? So till now, what is the best possible option that you guys can see? And the fifth option is suspend both Mr. Loyal and Mr. Prodigal from the party with immediate effect. Now, this is the most adverse option for the party. It goes completely opposite to what has been asked in the question. Now, when I told you, read the question, understand the question very carefully. This is what I was talking about. See, if you did not understand the question, if you didn't read the question properly, somebody might be thinking that which of the following would harm the party? The least did not strike. Now harm the party, E harms the party the most. So you mark E and you get a negative, right? So that is why I'm saying read the question very carefully while you're doing D. Okay. So what would be the answer among all the five? I think you guys already know it. D, right? So D would be our answer. Good. You guys with me? You guys can understand what I'm trying to explain? Clear? Okay. Chalo, we move to the next question. How I eliminated C? Yes. I'll explain again. C says initiate an internal inquiry to find the truth. Okay. And the question asks which of the following would harm the party the least. Okay. So by initiating an internal inquiry, what is the thing that is going to happen after that? Am I taking any step for the party actually? This is an irrelevant option because nothing is actually being done for the party or against the party. Okay, Like by maintaining a status quo, there is some harm that is happening to the party. The party image is getting polluted, but to some level, some harm is being done. Here, this is an absolutely irrelevant option. Okay, because if I'm initiating an internal inquiry to find the truth, then what? What will I do after that? That is not mentioned, and I cannot assume. Another very important thing: do not assume anything. Whatever is mentioned is like Bible. You have to judge based on whatever is mentioned. Okay. So initiate an internal inquiry to find the truth has nothing following it. What will be done after that? We cannot judge anything. We cannot say that it will harm the party. We cannot even say that it will not harm the party. Okay. The following action has not been stated. Right? Have you understood? Yes. It's an open-ended suggestion. Right. Okay. Shall we move to the next question? The third question. Third question says, Mr. Opportunist, a veteran member of NPP, stakes his claim to be nominated as an NPP candidate in the upcoming election. Now, Mr. Opportunist presented the following arguments in favor of his candidature to the NPP Executive Committee. Okay. Now, we will read the options later. The method I used to follow for DM is I never read this kind of questions. I never read the options first. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These we won't read first. We will read what is being asked. Which of the following combinations would best strengthen the claim of Mr. Opportunist? So now I know what to look for. I will have to find options that would strengthen Mr. Opportunist's claim. Now I will find the choose and select options according to what has been asked in the question. Okay. So now we go to the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 1 says, Mr. Loyal's candidature in the upcoming election will adversely impact NPP's chances. Hence, the party should not nominate him. Well, this is a valid point, right? Because if Mr. Loyal is trying to save his son, who is a murderer, the party's image is going to be polluted, right? So, this is a valid argument presented by Mr. Opportunist. So, we cannot eliminate 1. So, we keep 1. Next one, 2. The party should call a press conference to disown Mr. Loyal. This would enhance the party's image. Now, see, this is again a very drastic step. Mr. Opportunist is saying that this person whose son is under trial, we should call a press conference and disown this person. Okay, we should disown this person because we want our party's image to be enhanced. Now, this is a very drastic step. You cannot disown a person because their son is under trial. Okay, we have to understand that it is not proven that he is the murderer. It is suspected that he is the murderer. Okay, but you guys understand? Chalo. Now, so 2 is not a good option. 3. The party would not be able to take any strong disciplinary action against Mr. Loyal if he gets re-elected. Again, when I compare 1 and 3, which one is a better option? Right? When I compare 1 and 3, he is saying that the party will not be able to take any strong disciplinary action against Mr. Loyal if he gets re-elected. Now, this is a lot of assumption. The assumption is his son will be proven the murderer and the party will have to take disciplinary action. Okay. Also, even if Mr. Loyal gets re-elected and his son is a murderer and he tries to protect that person, the party can take disciplinary actions against them. Okay. So these arguments, can you see the gray waters in these arguments? Right? These are not arguments that are fully true or fully valid. They are based on certain assumptions. Okay. So that is why keep these arguments on hold. Another thing I'm telling repeatedly, never eliminate completely. Keep on hold. You place options, one better than the other. Till now, 1 is the best option. Okay. Now we look for other options. Now Mr. Opportunist is saying, I have a lot of goodwill and significant followers in the constituency. So you should elect me. Okay. Now we knew in the case we were told that Mr. Loyal has a lot of followers. And therefore, he was an asset for the party. Now, this guy, Mr. Opportunist, is also saying that I also have a lot of followers. Therefore, I can be an asset to your party as well. Can you see? Right. So, this is a strong argument for Mr. Opportunist. The question is, which of the following combination would best strengthen the claim of Mr. Opportunist? Now, this is strengthening his claim. Just like Mr. Loyal is an asset, I can also be an asset because I have a strong network. Okay. Can you see? We have another strong option. None of my close relatives are into active politics. Again, I said some options will be outright stupid, irrelevant options. This is one of them. This is an example of that. Close relatives not in active politics. How does it even matter? Okay, so outright eliminate. Okay, so what are the two options that we can see? One, Mr. Lal's candidature in the upcoming election will adversely impact NPP's chances. And 4, I have a lot of goodwill and significant followers in the constituency. Therefore, my answer is option B. Okay, 1 and 4. The disciplinary committee has decided to suspend Mr. Loyal from the party because they felt he was influencing the judicial process. However, Mr. Loyal feels that the committee is biased and he is being framed. Now election has been announced. The last time Mr. Loyal had won with a majority on account of his good work. Now, again, I cannot emphasize more. Read the question. Which of the following options is most likely to resurrect Mr. Loyal's immediate political career? So here we are trying to find an option that is good for Mr. Loyal, not for the party. Don't get confused. It's not for NPP. It's for Mr. Loyal's political career. Okay. So now we look at the options. A, the main opposition party has invited Mr. Loyal to join the party and contest the election. Chance of winning is high. Okay. So if Mr. Loyal joins the opposition and contests against NPP, he will win. That is what the option is saying. The chance of winning is high. So can you see that this is a very different kind of an option, but it is supporting Mr. Loyal's immediate political career. If Mr. Loyal stays in NPP and NPP throws him out, that will put Mr. Loyal's political career in jeopardy, right? So if he joins the opposition party, contests for the opposition party and wins, which has a fairly high chance, so his political career will be stable, right? Can you see how the reading the question is so important, right? Yes. So option A says he should join the opposition party and his chance of winning is very high. So this is a very valid argument. This is a very valid option. We keep it on hold. B, not participating in the campaign and instructing his followers to stay away from the campaigning process. Well, this is exactly against the question. It is going to put his political career on jeopardy. He's not participating in the campaign. How is his political career going to flourish? It's not, right? So B is a eliminated option. C, ask his followers to support the NPP nominated candidate and display his loyalty to NPP. Okay, so he's asking his followers to support NPP, showing his loyalty to NPP. What will happen? Maybe 2 years down the line, NPP will select him, may not select him. So nothing is going to happen immediately. You see this word immediate? Very important. You read the question and understand the essence of the question. Immediate political career. This is not going to help him in his immediate political career. It might help him in his future political career. Okay. Option D, Mr. Loyal should contest as an independent candidate because of split in votes, his chances of winning would be low. So if he contests as an independent candidate, his chances of winning is low. So obviously his immediate political career is not going to be good. If he does, it will not be resurrected, right? So if he works for the opposition, chances of winning is high. Political career immediately resurrected. D, chances of winning is low. He will have to keep on fighting against NPP and the other political parties. So immediate resurrection, not a good option. Okay. Option E, influence the nomination process through his followers within NPP to get one of his close associates nominated. Again, a very irrelevant option, right? Because you're influencing the nomination process through his followers within NPP to get one of his associates nominated. Now, how is his political career going to be resurrected if an associate gets nominated, right? He's going to stay in the back end, right? His political career is not going anywhere with option E. Okay, so which would be the best option out of all these 5? Can you guys tell me? Now see, this question, 5 to 7, I'd be skipping for the time being because this is a completely set theory based question. Okay, I think you guys have learned set theory. We will be discussing this, but not right now because I want you guys to understand the flow of decision making, how we choose options, how we select one option over the other. Okay, since I've just started with it, I'll do this later on. Maybe at the end of the class, we'll be taking up these set theory questions. We have a new case here, which says, Mr. Dipanshu Barua, a young IT professional, came early to office to assist his boss in the preparation of an important client presentation. Now see, what you have to keep in mind while reading the case. This guy, Mr. Barua, he came early to his office, right? He came early to his office to help his boss. What does that signify? Is he focused on his work, or he is kind of a freeloader? What does that tell about Mr. Barua? If he's coming before time to help his boss, he's focused person, right? So these are small deductions you have to keep in your mind while reading this, reading the case. Okay. So where were we? Yeah. When he switched on his computer, he saw an email from Mr. Patel. The email was as follows: Dear Mr. Barua, this email serves as a follow-up of my conversation with you on December 1st, 2014. I have already conveyed the need for improvement in your behavior as desired by your project leader and colleagues. They are yet to notice any visible improvements. I am apprehensive that your failure to act may warrant further action leading to dismissal. I will continue to monitor and assess your performance over the next 3 months to determine whether improvements meet the expectations. At the same time, I would like to reaffirm that you are very valuable to our organization. Best wishes, Mr. Patel, HR Director. So, typical HR mail has been sent to this person saying that your behavior is not good enough. Your colleagues, your seniors are complaining against you. I do not like that. You have to maintain your behavior. We will be monitoring you. Again, you are a valuable asset to us. Please maintain your behavior. Okay. So now we move on to the questions. So we move on to the 8th question, which says, initially the email distracted Dipanshu, but he decided to focus on the job. Okay. So he was disturbed by the email, but he decided to focus on the job. Another question, which of the following options might best explain his decision to do so? Okay. We have to find which option explains this decision of Mr. Barua to focus on the job instead of thinking about that email. Okay. So we start again with process of elimination. So for option number A, what does that say? Mr. Patel would soon be transferred to another department. Okay. So he is transferred to another department. Now the HR is common across all departments. Okay. So does that advocate the fact that Mr. Dipanshu is focusing on his job rather than thinking about the mail? Not really, because even if he goes to another department, the HR would be monitoring him. Okay. Now option B. Last week, Mr. Dipanshu has been assigned to a new team in the same project. Okay. New team, same project. Again, there's a chance of reporting to the same colleagues or having some conversation with the same colleagues, the same seniors maybe. Okay. So as long as this person is in the same organization working, the HR is going to be there anyways. So this is not a good example of why he might focus on his job. Option C, 3 days back, Mr. Dipanshu has been assigned a new project similar to his final year engineering project. Again, a new project, same organization, not helping much. D, his friend has been hospitalized for the last 3 months. Now, how is that even relevant to the fact that Dipanshu is now focusing on his job? Again, you see, an outright irrelevant option. Eliminate D. If you cannot even eliminate anything else, eliminate D first. Okay. Now, E. Failing to perform in the client meeting might further complicate things. Okay. Do you see this? Already his senior is pissed off at him. Now, if he doesn't perform well in the client meeting, he's not delivering what has been expected from him. Again, things will be more complicated. Okay. So it is better you focus on the job, get it done, then think about whatever is written in the mail. Isn't that the most logical explanation of why Mr. Dipanshu is focusing on the job right now? Yeah. So we know that this guy is a focused person. He wants to deliver. So he is focusing on the job because he doesn't want to further complicate matter. Okay. So that is why your option would be option E. The scheduled presentation went off smoothly. Back in his cabin, Dipanshu read Mr. Patel's email once more and pondered over it. During the last meeting, he tried hard to put forward his explanation, but Mr. Patel had not allowed him to speak. Okay. Dipanshu was thinking of meeting Mr. Patel once again, but was doubtful that would help. So what do we have to keep in mind? That this guy has tried speaking to the HR, but that did not help the first time. Okay. Because the HR did not let him speak. Okay. So he was thinking of meeting the HR again, but he was doubtful that would help. Incidentally, he had a job offer from a startup with a comparable salary. If Dipanshu was to join the new job, he had to accept the offer within the next 2 weeks. Okay, so he has another offer, comparable salary. Another important thing to note, comparable salary, okay, from a startup. He has to accept the offer within 2 weeks. However, he cannot think of a life without job. So he is very focused person. He cannot live without job. Very important. Keep it note. These lines are very important. He cannot think without job. What does that imply? Whenever you will have an option which says that Vipanshu should leave the job and sit at home searching for a new job, will that be a valid option? He is a man who cannot think of a life without a job. Will you choose that kind of option? No, right? You will not choose this kind of options. Right? Yeah. So, right. However, he cannot think of a life without a job. So Dipanshu was confused. Now, which of the following options would be the best move for Dipanshu? So for whom? For Dipanshu. Okay. We start with POA. A. Talk to Mr. Patel and highlight the initiatives he has taken, but at the same time, start applying for other jobs. Okay. So is this the best move for this guy who is already not valued in the organization, has already spoken to the HR once, and has been and has seen that it's of no use. The HR is not listening to this person. So is this the best possible option for Dipanshu? Maybe not. Maybe not. We have to look at the other options. We look at B. Reject the offer from the startup. So you have an offer which is of comparable salary from another organization. This organization is not valuing you, and you're rejecting that offer outright. Use the next 3 months to find a better job, but continue in the present job. So you're continuing in a job that is undervaluing you. You're rejecting an offer that is of comparable salary, and you're using the next 3 months to find a better job. Can this be a best possible option? I mean, do you think that this can be a best possible option for this guy? No. We will keep it on hold. We will not outrightly deny, but we will keep it on hold. Not our best option. See, resign from this organization right now and then do what? Right? We resign right now and then do what? We are already told that we cannot think of a life without job. So resigning is not an option. This is an outright elimination. This is not even an option for us. Eliminate. C is eliminated. D. Accept the offer only if the startup gives a salary hike. Else keep prospecting. Okay. So now they are saying that accept the offer only if the startup gives salary hike. Else keep prospecting. Maybe. Now D seems to be something that he might do. Okay. Keep it on hold. Maybe we put it over A and B somewhere. If we have nothing else, maybe we will select B, but let's look for E. E says, accept the offer with a request to give him a 10% salary hike. Okay. So now we compare D and E. Now, both D and E, you will agree to this, right? Both D and E are better than A and B. Because in A and B, it is sure shot that this guy will continue in an organization that is undervaluing him. Okay. So he will not be obviously happy in this organization because the HR is not listening to him. Okay. And anytime the HR might kick him out. That the HR has mentioned in the mail also. Okay. So D and E are our probable options. Now we have to understand how do we eliminate between D and E. Now let's see what D is saying. D is saying accept the offer only if the startup gives you a hike. Otherwise, stay back in this organization and keep prospecting. Okay. So if startup doesn't give me a hike, I stay back in an organization that is not valuing me and might kick me out anytime. And I keep searching for a new job. Given compared to E, which says I accept the offer, I request a 10% hike, which might be granted. Okay, might be, might not be, but maybe I can request a 10% hike. And the option of prospecting is not mentioned here, but even if I join a new job, if I don't like it, I can leave it, right? Nobody is stopping me. But in option D, I stay in an organization that is undervaluing me. And in option E, I go to an new organization that might value me, that I don't know, that might value me, give me a comparable salary, maybe give me a 10% hike. And even if I don't like it, I can keep on prospecting. So between D and E, what do you think would be the better option, right? E is better than D. Okay, see how I am comparing options? What is the logic running behind? Can you guys understand? Why am I selecting E over D? Okay, so first, what did we do? Isn't D somewhat similar to B? B says, reject the offer from the startup, use the next 3 months to find a better job, continue in the present job. And he says that accept the offer only if the startup gives a salary hike, else keep prospecting. Yeah, kind of similar. But then B says outright reject offer. D says accept the offer. So if I'm comparing between B and D and I do not have E, I will select D. But if I have D and E, then I will select. Okay. So you see, I am telling you repeatedly, you have to find, by the process of elimination, you have to find the best possible option. The best possible option is your answer. That is how DM works. Okay. Sometimes you might find options, none of which sound logical. They are all stupid options. It might seem that what kind of options are these? We will come across such questions. But again, the best possible option is your answer. Okay. Mark my words. This is what will help you get score marks in DM. Next, we have, after a couple of weeks, Mr. Patel came to know that the Dipanshu's project leader, Mr. John, was a very competent senior executive. Again, important, competent senior executive. Okay, so you cannot take any harsh steps outright against Mr. John. Okay, competent senior executive may have willfully influenced his team members to file a wrong complaint against Dipanshu. Mr. John may have done it because Dipanshu has refused to toe John's lines. Toe John's line means he did not follow the rules set by John. Okay, so Mr. Patel also came to know that Dipanshu was thinking of quitting his job. He felt regretful about his letter to Dipanshu. He wanted to resolve the complicated situation. He was contemplating the 5 following actions in his mind. Now, will you guys sit reading all these actions? No. I mentioned this previously also. When these kind of questions come, do not read the options first. Read what is being asked. They are saying, which of the following is the best sequence of actions for resolving the problem? Okay. Now you know what to look for. You have to find the best sequence of action for resolving the problem. The problem is a senior executive is manipulating the team members against a junior person. The junior person is a good asset to the company. The HR has to resolve the issue between this junior and senior pair. Okay. So what will the HR do? What is the normal thing for the HR to do? Normal thing is HR will talk to the senior person, tell him that this junior is a good person. He is doing good things. Please be patient towards this person. Okay. HR will talk to the junior. Now, he has already sent a mail that has accused the junior of behaving badly, now which he is not guilty of. So HR has to tell the junior that you are valuable to us. Okay. So this is what the HR will do. And now the HR has to resolve the conflict between the junior and the senior. So now we will look at the options. Okay. One says, talk to Mr. John about Dipanshu and convey to him that losing a bright employee would cost the organization dearly. A valid thing to say, right? A valid thing to tell a senior executive that we might lose a good employee if you keep behaving like this. Okay. So we cannot eliminate one. One is a good thing. One is a good option for us. We hold it. Option 2 is catch up with Mr. John during coffee break and convey that Dipanshu has a very good track record. So you're catching up with Mr. John during coffee break and saying Dipanshu has a very good track record. So what? What after that? He has a good track record. That's fine. Obviously, John knows that. Okay, so between 1 and 2, which one do you think is the more stronger approach? Can you tell me which one is a more stronger approach? 1, right? So 1 is a more stronger approach. Now, we have option 3, which says that chat with Dipanshu during coffee break. Okay, so chat with Dipanshu. So what? What will I do chatting with him? Nothing mentioned. 4, catch up with Dipanshu during coffee break and convey that the organization values him. Now, between 3 and 4, which one is more valid? Right? So between 1 and 2, 1 is valid. Between 3 and 4, 4 is valid. Now, 5th, arrange a meeting between Mr. John and Dipanshu and himself to sort out the difference. Right? So this is 5th is an obviously valid point. Okay. So we get 1, we get 3, we get 5. Okay. So which of the following is the best sequence of action for resolving the following? We start with 1, we talk to the senior, then we talk to Dipanshu, then we resolve the conflict. Okay, so our option would be option A. This question says that a few years back, Mr. A and Mr. B started an oil refinery business. Their annual earning is currently just 15,000 million rupees. They are now exploring various options to improve the business. Mr. X, the salesperson from Innovative Technology Solution ITS, is trying to sell a new oil refinery technology to Mr. A and Mr. B. This technology could potentially enhance their annual earnings to 150,000 million rupees within a year. But they have to make one-time investment of 100,000 million rupees to implement the technology. If the technology is not successful, the investment would be lost. Mr. A and Mr. B are discussing about possible risks of the investment. Okay. So we know what is the case. We know that Mr. A and Mr. B, they have a business, which is oil refinery business. They're currently earning 50,000 million rupees. Mr. X wants to sell a technology to these guys. Now that technology can generate an earning of a huge amount of earning. But then there is a huge one-time investment as also. So Mr. A and Mr. B are discussing the risks of investing in this business. Okay. So Question number 11 says, Mr. A is enthusiastic about his investment idea, but Mr. B is a little skeptical. So A wants to invest, B doesn't. This impasse makes them approach a consultant. The consultant makes some observation. Which of the following observation made by the consultant might reduce Mr. A's enthusiasm for the new investment idea? Okay, so again, read the question very carefully. We have to find an option that might reduce Mr. A's enthusiasm for the new investment idea. So we want the option that makes them not invest in the idea. Okay, am I clear? We want an option that makes them not invest in the idea. Okay, now next step, use POE. Option A, investment is warranted only when benefits outweigh costs. Okay, so I will only invest if my benefits outweigh my cost, which is a fair, outright logical explanation. I will only invest, investment is warranted only when benefits outweigh costs. So we cannot eliminate it. We keep it on hold. B, technology investments give higher earnings in future. So if technology investments give higher earnings in future, I should be investing, right? I should be investing. A's enthusiasm is not negated here. It's supported. B, supports A. Okay. See, investment in technology leads to reduction of costs in the long run. Again, if investment in technology is going to reduce my costs in the long run, I will invest in it. Okay, it's fair for me to invest. So C again, supports A, is not negating A. D, technology risks can be controlled. Again, it is supporting A, right? I can control technology risks. So that's a good thing for me. I should invest in technology then, because I can control the risks. So what do I have to fear? E, business is all about taking risky decisions. Again, an outright irrelevant, stupid option. Okay. Option E, eliminate at first go. Then between B, C, and D, they are not negating A, they are supporting A. So A is the only option, the best possible option that is actually negating A. Hence, our answer is option A. In order to sell the technology to Mr. A and Mr. B, Mr. X is thinking of 5 possible sales pitches. Which of the following sales pitch would reduce uncertainties the most among Mr. A and Mr. B? Now, what do we have to find? What is the question asking from us? We want to find the best possible sales pitch. Okay, we want the best sales pitch. Now, what do? We start with POE. Option A, I'll try to eliminate options. Option A says all competitors are aggressively investing in risky technologies. And what are we trying to prove? That we are trying to have the best possible sales pitch for Mr. A and B. So think of the situation. We go and we tell them that your competitors are investing in this all risky projects, so you go and invest in risky projects. Will you be convinced? Will anybody be convinced? Not really, right? Not the best possible sales pitch for a person who you are asking to invest such a huge amount of money. Okay, so A, not a good option. B, if technology succeeds, the annual earning would grow 3 times from the next financial year, and they would be able to recover the invested money within 1 year. Maybe a good option. Maybe we can convince them that if this succeeds, you will grow within 3 years. You will be growing a lot. Within 1 year, you will be getting back your money. Blah blah blah. Okay, fine. B sounds like a good option. We keep it on hold. Like obviously better than A, so we keep it on hold. So now we come to C. Preliminary studies indicate that the success rate of the technology is 85%. Okay. Now this is a proven fact. Studies indicate that the success rate is 85%. It's a fact. In B, it was if technology succeeds. There is a assumption. If it succeeds, then. But C says that this has 85% success rate. Now I come to someone, I show them that my technology is 85% of the time my technology succeeds. 85% of the time it will help you gain money. You should invest in my technology. Is that more convincing? Or you say that this will give you a lot of benefits in the future, but there is a chance that this will not succeed. So which one amongst the two is a better sales pitch? C, right? So you tell them that there is an 85% chance that this will succeed, which is a good number. It's a good number for succeeding. But when B, you're just saying that it will give you a lot of benefits, but there's a huge chance that it might not succeed. You're not talking about it only. Okay. So between B and C, this is the rationale of eliminating B between B and C. Okay. Option D, the R&D team of ITS is working to counter any possible downside of the technology. Okay, fine. The R&D is working. So what? Do we have any foolproof guarantee that they will be successful in their research? Do we know that? Are we being told anything about it? No, right? This is a far-fetched option. This is option which is tangential to the purpose of the question. Okay. So not something that we can place B over D. Okay. We can place B over D. B would be a better sales pitch than D. You're going and telling my R&D is working, but you don't know if they will succeed. It doesn't make any sense, right? And E, business is all about taking risky decision. Again, an irrelevant option that can be eliminated outright. Okay. So the tussle is between B and C. Why we chose C? Because C is a fact. C is based on facts. You can prove that 85% of the time we can succeed, and in B you cannot say that. It is if technology succeeds, then you will get benefits. If it doesn't succeed, you lose. Question number 14 to 17. Okay, another case. Let's see. Life-saving pharmaceuticals, LSP, is an India-based pharmaceutical company. Their business mostly revolves around a couple of generic drugs and a few patented drugs. Okay, what is generic drug? Generic drugs are drugs that had patent at some point of time. That patent has expired. Now any company can produce that drug at a cheaper price. Okay, so these are generic drugs and a few patented drugs. Patented drugs are only the company that holds the patent for the drug can produce that drug and sell it in the market. Clear? Okay. So LSP operates in 30 odd countries and more than 50% of their sales volumes is from outside India. Okay. So what are the questions they are asking? Let's see. Okay. This is again a percentage question. Question number 14 is a percentage question. Again, as I said, quant questions will pick up later. We will do the DM questions first. So the 15th question says, Mr. Sinha, a senior executive of LSP, observes that their business in India is not vibrant. Okay. Right. So their business in India is not vibrant. LSP faces stiff competition from. Somebody is raising a hand. Just let me see. So question number 15 tells me that Mr. Sinha, as a senior executive of LSP, observes that the business in India is not vibrant. LSP faces stiff competition from Indian and global players, except in rural areas. Now, why? Interestingly, most of the sales in the rural areas are from cough syrup, used as sedatives by teenagers. Okay, so Mr. Sinha is planning the following action to improve business in the long run. So, what is being observed is that we are not thriving in India. We are facing competition from Indian and global players, except in rural areas. But in rural areas, what are we selling? Cough syrups. And who is consuming cough syrup? Teenagers. And are they consuming it as a medicine? No, they're consuming it because of its sedative activities, right? So now I want to improve my business in the long run. Again, very important, in the long run, right? He's planning to improve his business in the long run. Again, will we read all these four first? What have I told you? Do we read these? Or we read the question? We first read the question, right? Yes. We read the question first. What does the question tell us? Which of the following sequence is best arranged in the descending order of the appropriateness? Okay. So we have to arrange in descending order. The best option has to come first, then followed by the next best, then the next. Okay. So, and what is Mr. Sinha trying to do? He is planning to improve the business in the long run. So we have to think long term. So A is invest in development of new drugs. Good idea, right? If we invest in new drugs, we are not competitive in the urban market. So maybe if we invest in new drugs, we will become competitive in the urban market. Okay. So investing in a new drugs is a good option. We can hold it. Increase the sales of cough syrup in the rural markets. Well, not a very ethical thing given that teenagers are consuming it as sedatives, but maybe we can try to increase the sales in the rural market. We can keep it on hold, but not as good as number one. We can keep it on hold. Okay. Try and cut costs. Again, a good option maybe, yes, we can try to cut costs down. Just a second. Yeah. So we try to cut costs down. That's again a good option. We can do that. 4 is recruit more and more medical representatives in the rural areas. Now, 4th, does that have any direct link to this question? Like, do we know if we recruit more medical representative, it is going to affect? Because that's a complicated process. Medical representative goes to doctors then prescribe, and then they're selling cough syrup in rural areas which do not actually need prescriptions. Okay. So medical representative wala option is actually going tangent to the purpose of improving business overall. Okay. So what are the 3 options that might help me? Which is 1, 2, and 3. Now see, you might feel that option number 2 is kind of a bad option. Okay, but option number 2 is better than 4. Okay, I'm teaching you tricks how you get to the right correct option when you're given like these combinations. Okay, see, these combinations are easy to eliminate using these kind of tricks. 2 is better than 4, right? You agree to me? You agree with me? 2 is better than 4. Okay, 2 is better than 4, and every option has three of the options included, right? So इन चारों में से कोई 3 तो आएगा ही आएगा, right? 1 तो आएगा, 3 तो आएगा, दूसरा 2 आएगा या 4 आएगा. So 2 is better than 4, so it's safer to select the one with 2. So we select A, and A is the answer. 1, तुमको क्या करना है? You have to find the option that helps the business grow in long run. Investing in new drugs, good idea. Will help the business grow in long run. Maybe urban area में sale बढ़ जाए. Maybe लोग दूसरे दवाइयाँ खरीदने लगे, right? So 1 is a good option. Invest in new drugs is fine. 2 में देखो, increase sales of cough syrup in the rural market. हाँ ठीक है, business तो grow करेगा ही. अगर लोग खरीदेंगे तो business तो grow करेगा ही. But then it is said that it is used as sedative by teenagers. So maybe ये अगर तुमको पता हो तो maybe not a very ethical option, but ठीक है, तुम कर सकते हो अगर तुम बिजनेस को ग्रो करने की कोशिश करो. इट्स नॉट अ ग्रे वाटर्स में है, ठीक है. 3 देखो, ट्राई एंड कट कॉस्ट. कॉस्ट कम होगा, प्रॉफिट ज्यादा होगी, बिजनेस ग्रो करेगा, ठीक है. इट्स आउटराइट करेक्ट ऑप्शन, राइट? तो 1 और 3 तो है ही. और 4th में देखो, रिक्रूट मोर इन मेडिकल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स इन रूरल एरियाज. अब तुम मेडिकल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव रिक्रूट करोगे, नॉट नेसेसरी कि तुम्हारा सेल्स बढ़े, क्योंकि तुम्हारा सेल्स बढ़ रहा है थ्रू कफ सिरप्स. और कफ सिरप के लिए मेडिकल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव की जरूरत नहीं है, ठीक है. दिस कफ सिरप्स आर अनप्रेस्क्राइब्ड ड्रग्स. डॉक्टर के पास नहीं जाते हम लोग हनी टेस्ट खरीदने के लिए. ओके, सो दीज आर दिस ऑप्शन एंड दिस ऑप्शन. 2 और 4 में से अगर हमको सिलेक्ट करना पड़े तो आई विल सिलेक्ट 2. और देखो, इनमें सारे के सारे ऑप्शंस में यू हैव 3 इंक्लूडेड. तो अगर ऐसा कुछ ऑप्शन होता है जिसमें सिर्फ 1 और 3 होते, लिसन टू मी, अगर ऐसा ऑप्शन होता है जिसमें सिर्फ 1 और 3 होते, आई वुड हैव सिलेक्टेड दैट. But given कि यहाँ पे all 3 are included, I will select the best possible option. That would be 1, 3 and 2. 16 cut left. Mr. Rastogi, HR of LSP, is contemplating of transferring Mr. Jose from India to their Luxembourg office. Mr. Jose's wife is also with the HR department of LSP. The couple is expecting their first child within next 4 months and hence they want to be together. Mr. Rastogi is wondering whether Mr. Jose would accept the transfer. If he doesn't, Mr. Rastogi would have to send a less competent person for this job as early as possible. Okay, the office in Luxembourg is very important for the company's future. It is at its nascent stage and does not have an HR department, and hence it is not possible to transfer Mrs. Jose to Luxembourg. ठीक है, यहाँ प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि एक इंसान को ये लोग चाहते हैं लग्जमबर्ग में भेजना, उसकी बीवी है, they are expecting a child. Now the wife is also with the same organization, but the wife cannot go there because there is no HR department there. But this Mr. Jose has to be sent there because he is very important. He's a very important person and Mr. Luxembourg office needs him. Okay. So now we come to the question. Which of the following options would be the most appropriate from the organization's perspective to resolve the issue? ठीक है, तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को क्या करना चाहिए कि इशू रिजॉल्व हो जाए. इशू क्या है कि ये दोनों साथ में रहना चाहते हैं, लेकिन cannot send the wife because there is no HR department there, but we have to send the husband because the office needs him. Okay, how do we? And they want to stay together. They are also expecting a child, so we have to be sensitive towards that. Okay, so what do? We start with POE again. A, give a salary hike to Mr. Jose with a promise to transfer Mrs. Jose to Luxembourg in near future. Will this work? You are telling a senior person that we will pay you money. You leave your wife and stillborn child here and you go. And we promise you that after some time we will send your wife. Will this work? Will this work? Tell me. Obviously no. This person might even take it as an insult, right? This will not work. B, giving Mrs. Jose the option to work from home while in Luxembourg so that she can be with Mr. Jose. Good option, right? She can work from home. She can be with him. It's good for a woman who's pregnant. So, a good option, right? B is a good option. Let's keep it. C, giving Mrs. Jose the option of working from India for the timing so that he can, giving Mr. Jose the option to work from India for the timing so that he can be with Mrs. Jose in India. Now, that is detrimental for the company. Company wants profits. Company wants to send Mr. Jose to Luxembourg. Company, the office there needs him. So this is contrary to the interest of the company, not a good option. Company अपने interest छोड़ के तो नहीं करेगा ना कुछ भी, right? Not a good option. D. Giving a salary hike to Mr. Jose to compensate for Mrs. Jose's salary so that she can join Mr. Jose at Luxembourg even with loss of pay. Okay. Now this option says, ask your wife to leave the job, go there and sit. We will pay her salary to you. Will this option work again? क्या ये एक अच्छा option है? नहीं, right? Obviously, think from a normal point of view. Nobody will accept this. Right? Why will the wife accept this? She is an accomplished person. She will work. Okay? So she will not leave her work and go and sit there, right? She won't be doing that. E. Asking Mr. Jose to accept the offer right now, but give him up to 6 months to join Luxembourg office. Now what is the question? What does the case say? The case says that they are thinking of transferring Mr. Jose, and if he does not accept it, they have to transfer someone who is less worthy than Mr. Jose, right? So that means that they need to transfer someone. It's an urgent issue. So asking him to accept the offer right now, wait for 6 months, do stuff, obviously not the better option, given that we have an option like B, where we are giving Mrs. Jose the option to work from home. She can stay with her husband, she can be at rest, and everyone is satisfied. It's a win-win situation. So what would be the best possible option? Option B. Question number 17. 17 says that Mr. Khan used to work as the vice president of LSP India. However, he had resigned from LSP India for a better job in New York. In the meantime, his wife was promoted to the head of HR of LSP India. Mrs. Khan had struggled hard to reach this position. Very important. ये note करना. Mrs. Khan had struggled hard to reach this position. So it has taken her a lot of hard work to reach her position. So just normally speaking, अगर ऐसे इंसान को आप बोलते हो कि आप जॉब छोड़ दो और चले जाओ, will she be happy about it? No, right? Obviously not. She has worked hard to reach that position, right? She's a head HR. She has worked hard to reach that position. Obviously, she won't want to leave that position, right? Keep this in mind. Mrs. Khan has struggled hard to reach this position and was quite popular and respected within the organization. Mrs. Khan was contemplating whether she should give up her career and join him in New York. Mrs. Khan is considering the following decisions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are not reading that. We go to the question directly. Which of the following sequence of actions can be immediately taken by Mrs. Khan to maintain her work-life balance? Important words to be noted. Which of the following sequence of action can be immediately taken? Okay, she has to take the action immediately to maintain her work-life balance. तो ऐसा कौन सा डिसीजन उनको लेना चाहिए कि इस मोमेंट पे वो डिसीजन ले कि उनका work-life balance maintain हो. Okay, so we will look at the options. So we have take a break from the time being and focus on personal life. Given her reputation, she can always get back to the same job if required. Matlab, we are just telling that you have struggled hard to reach your position, but why don't you just take a break? Leave the job, go. Take a break, enjoy life. You are a reputed person, you can come back anyways. A good option to tell a lead HR who has worked hard to reach this level. What do you guys think? Right? Not an immediate purpose and not something that will be easily accepted as well. Okay. Option 2. Go to New York on leave without pay for 2 months to help Mr. Khan settle down. After that, she can come back and resume her responsibility in LSP India. So she is not leaving her job. She is going without pay, helping him to settle down for 2 months. Maybe she is giving up a lot of stuff, but then she's not leaving her position. So maybe we can just hold option 2. इसको hold करके रखते हैं, बाकी देखते हैं. Request Mr. Khan to look for an equivalent job in India, which he won't do. Obviously, he has just resigned. We are telling request Mr. Khan to look for an equivalent job in India, which is far-fetched. This is not even relevant. Why would he listen to this? Nothing to do with it, right? Next is resign from LSP India, join Mr. Khan in New York and look for a similar job there. Again, she has struggled hard to reach this position. You are asking him to leave her job. And the respect and the popularity that comes with it. Obviously, Ford is not something she will do. Okay. Fifth is request LSP India for a similar position in LSP USA and follow Mr. Khan to New York. It's a very good option. I think fifth should be the best option. You request the organization you're currently in for a position, similar kind of position in the US, and you go there with your husband. Okay, so this is a good option, a valid option, right? So fifth should be an option. Okay, now again, a trick to eliminate. See which of these options has 5. Only D and D. So one of them must be my answer, right? Now I have to choose between 2 and 3. I will not look at the others. Between 2 and 3, I need to choose. So go to New York on leave without pay for months to help Mr. Khan settle down. And 3 says request Mr. Khan to look for an equivalent job in India. Is 3 going to happen? He has resigned from LSP and found a better job in New York. It was his decision. He has taken this decision, just joined the job. And we are telling that request him to find an equivalent job in India. So between 2 and 3, what do you think is the better option? Obviously, 2 is a better option because in 3, you are telling Mr. Khan to find a different job, find a job in India wherein he is all set to move to New York. And in 2, we are saying that she leaves for some time, goes there without pay. She goes there, helps him settle down, comes back and joins at the same position where she was. Between the two, which one do you think is a better option? The chat? Yeah, 2 is better, right? Guys agreed? You guys agreed to this, right? So what process did I follow? I found the best possible option. I found 5, right? Which is you request your current organization, give me an equivalent post in the US organization, which is a valid argument, which is something that we can do, right? There is nothing wrong with that. So we found 5th. Now we saw the option. In option, we have 2 options, D and D, which has the 5th option included in it. Now D and D has a choice between 2 and 3. Between 2 and 3, 2 is a better option. So we choose 2 and 5. That is option number D. Okay. Can you guys understand how we do DM? How we eliminate options? How we select which one is better? Okay. And the last question, why did we eliminate E? That is this one, right? This 3 and 4th wala. Is that you're asking, Karishma? Yeah. So in this one, we asked Mr. Jose to accept the offer right now, but give him up to 6 months to join the Luxembourg office because they're saying that. Let's read the case again. Mr. Rastogi, HR of LSP, is contemplating of transferring Mr. Jose from India to Luxembourg office. His wife is with HR department. Couple is expecting their first child. Want to be together. Mr. Rastogi is wondering whether Mr. Jose would accept the transfer. If he doesn't, he has to send someone else. The office in Luxembourg is very important for the company's future. It is in its nascent stage and does not yet have an HR department, and it is not possible to transfer Mrs. Jose to Luxembourg. Okay. So you understood how we eliminated the rest A, C, and D, right? So your doubt is between B and E, right? Yeah. So now let's look at B and let's look at D and look at E and let's see how we eliminate. E says, ask Mr. Jose to accept the offer now, give him 6 months, and then we ask him to join Luxembourg office. Okay. And in B, we are saying, give Mrs. Jose the option to work from home while in Luxembourg so that she can be with Mr. Jose. Okay. Now, between these two, think of this. Now we ask him to join, they stay here for 6 months. The child is born in 4 months, and then when he will be leaving, the child would be 2 months old. Obviously, not a good time to ask a person to leave this family alone, right? So in 6 months, we ask him to join the Luxembourg office. We are not telling anything that we will take responsibility of the wife, we will be sending her, keeping her, nothing. Okay. While in B, we are saying that Mrs. Jose will be given the option to work from home. She can stay with him in Luxembourg. They can stay together, take care of the child, and everyone is going to be in a win-win situation. Between B and E, which one do you think should be the option, right? B should be a better option, right? E, C, option, you can do anything you want. The HR can do anything. But then, which should be the best thing to do? That we are trying to understand, right? If B is the best thing to do here. Given that if we say that, leave your 2-month-old child and wife here and go to Luxembourg. Obviously, nobody will want to do that, right? So, we eliminate E because B is a better option. 18 to 20. Okay, we read this question. What does it say? It says that Mohan's was a popular fast food joint at Connaught Place, Delhi. Initially, Mohan handled his business alone. His sons Ram and Kishan joined the business after graduation from college. Ram was entrepreneurial in nature. Subsequently, another branch of Mohan's was opened in Panipat. Mohan had chosen Ram to head the Panipat branch. Though Ram increased sales in short time, he had stopped using premium quality organic vegetables, a specialty of Mohan's. Now, Mohan and Kishan were not happy with this way of doing business. Now, the foremost challenge for Mohan was to sort out this issue with Ram. Mohan knew that replacing Ram with Kishan is difficult as Kishan did not want to leave Delhi. However, giving a free hand to Ram might have long-term negative consequences. Mohan was confused about the future of his future course of action. Okay, so this guy, he has a fast food joint at Connaught Place, Delhi. Now he has two sons. The son started helping him in business. One son is entrepreneurial in nature, sets up somewhere else, branch somewhere else, and he stops using quality organic vegetables, which is the trademark of Mohan's. Okay, so Mohan and Kishan are not happy with this. Now he cannot replace Mohan Ram with Kishan because Kishan does not want to leave Delhi. Okay, important thing, you have to note that he doesn't want to leave Delhi, so it cannot be replaced. However, giving a free hand to Ram might have long-term negative consequences because the name of Mohan's might actually get impacted. Okay, so the brand name will get impacted if he keeps on using bad quality stuff. So Mohan was confused about the future of course of actions. Now we look at the questions. Question 18 asks us, Mohan sought to help from 5 consultants who give the following opinions. Will I read the opinions first? No. I will read the question. Which of the following set of options would support Ram's argument of not using organic vegetable? We have to support Ram. We do not have to support Mohan. Mohan is confused. That's in the original case. Original premises. Mohan is confused. That's fine. This question particularly asks me, what is going to support Ram? Choose the option that supports Ram's cause. Okay. So now we start reading. We have to find things that will support Ram. Now, if the fact is, organic vegetables might be a big success at Connaught Place, but awareness about organic vegetable is low in Panipat. Amongst Panipat customers, if this is true, then it is a valid statement to support Ram, right? If people are not looking for organic vegetables at Panipat, why should I sell organic vegetables? Connaught Place people want organic vegetables, so I will sell organic vegetables. Panipat people do not want it. So even if I do not sell it, what's the issue? Okay. So that one, this kind of supports what Ram is trying to say. So we will keep it on hold. Next, the Connaught Place model can be implemented in Panipat provided the business is prepared to face the consequences. This is nothing to do. Like the Connaught Place model can be implemented in Panipat provided the business is prepared to face the consequences. How is it anyway supporting Ram? What Ram is arguing is, we do not use quality organic vegetables. 2 is not saying anything about that. 2 is going tangent to what is being said. Okay, so 2 is not an option to be considered. Third, many high-end restaurants in Panipat use organic vegetables, so using organic vegetables will not be a differentiating factor. Maybe, right? Not as good as 1. I think 1 is a stronger cause than 3, but maybe. मतलब ठीक है, बाकी restaurants use तो करते ही है, तो ये differentiating factor कैसे हुआ? It's the same thing. He might argue. मतलब थोड़ा सा weak argument है, but ठीक है, we can hold it. मतलब ऐसे ही eliminate नहीं करते, hold करते हैं इसे. Fourth देखते हैं. Selling price of their dishes in Panipat is significantly lower. Using organic vegetable will bring down profits. Good argument, right? From a businessman point of view, good argument. If I use organic vegetables, my profits will come down. That is why I am not using. So, the strong argument, in fact, according to me, the strongest argument, right? 4 is a strong argument. 1 is a strong argument, but 4 मुझे थोड़ा ज़्यादा लग रहा है. It might vary according to you. But then 3 से तो दोनों ही बेहतर है और 2 तो है ही नहीं argument. Okay? 5th को देखते हैं. Premium quality organic vegetables are not easily available in Panipat, which is the strongest argument. अगर available ही नहीं है तो राम करेगा क्या? Right? So he cannot do anything. Right? It's not available. So if Ram says that premium quality organic vegetables are not available, I cannot help it. So nothing can be done. Even Ram की जगह किशन आ जाए वो भी नहीं कुछ नहीं कर सकता, right? So 5th option is the strongest option. 5th को रखते हैं. 4th again is a good argument. कि मेरे profits कम होंगे. I won't do it. मेरे profits कम होंगे. Okay, so 4th is a good option. और 1 after 4 कौन सा अच्छा है? 1. क्या organic vegetables की awareness ही नहीं है इधर? तो means बेच के क्या करूँ? Right? So after that 1. And then finally 3. ठीक है? So what would be our answer? We have 1, 3, 4 and 5. कोई option है जिसमें चारों है? 1, 3, 4 and 5? Yeah. So our option would be C.